nothing as she cried for help. The Me Too campaign has been sweeping the nation over the past few months, and few huge political organizations haven't come out and spoken on the subject of sexual misconduct, in an effort to distance themselves from the icy death grip of scandal. The campaign, which started with the multitude of women who were in some way mistreated by Hollywood elite Harvey Weinstein, has been touted loudly by feminists everywhere who tend to jump on every opportunity to paint men in a bad light. The Feminist-in-Chief is, of course, Hillary and her posse of overly empowered glass breakers. She ran on a platform made up almost exclusively of female empowerment sentiments, with a little government overreach thrown in to hold it all together. So when allegations of misconduct began to surface, of course Hillary and her friends were all shaking their heads in disdain. As it turns out, they might have been also shoving some skeletons further in their closets when they realized that the bodies were starting to stink. It would be murder to feminist future political aspirations if the world were to learn that she was letting people on her campaign abuse the women that were under them and letting others cover it up, but that's just what was happening. The Daily Wire reports that an email has come to light, thanks to WikiLeaks, that says that Clinton's campaign manager was covering up for his friend who was cornering women and trying to force them into things they didn't want to be doing. An email from the WikiLeaks collection of emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman John Podesta alleges that Clinton campaign manager Robbie Mueller covered up sexual harassment allegations made against another staffer because he was a friend of his. The anti-secrecy organization tweeted out the email on Tuesday, which was previously available but flew under the radar. Post-Weinstein, the allegations in the email are now drawing more attention. In the tweet, WikiLeaks linked to the email and wrote, "Top Clinton aide cornered women for sex and was protected by campaign manager Robbie Mueller according to accusations in January 2015 email Me Too." The email from U.S. News and World Report senior political writer David Catanese was sent to a woman named Mara Lederle, who appears to have been heavily involved in leadership positions for Hillary Clinton's 2008 presidential campaign in the state of Nevada. The email reads, "Hi Mara. Thanks for getting back to me on Facebook and providing your email, I do appreciate it. This is a bit of a sensitive topic, so forgive me if my questions are general in nature as I'm only responding to a tip, but feel obligated to follow through. I was recently contacted by a source who claims to have worked on the 2008 Hillary Clinton campaign and is alleging that Marlon Marshall made unwelcome sexual advances and propositions towards women on the campaign repeatedly. The allegation is that he would corner women, make them uncomfortable and make suggestions about having sex. The source encouraged me to contact women who worked under him in the Nevada office. I was wondering if you were able to describe your experience with Marshall and if any of this rings true, with you or anyone else you know who worked there." The source also claims that Robbie Mueller was made aware of the issue, but declined to act on it or intervene because he is personal friends with Marshall. Do you know if there is any truth to this? Again, my apologies for the personal nature of the questions, but it is information that was recently provided to me. If there's any light you can shed on this, whether there's truth to it, or if it's completely off base, I would appreciate that. I understand the sensitive nature of the allegations, so I'm happy to protect your identity at this point, unless you feel otherwise compelled to speak out. Thank you for your time. Marshall was a special assistant to President Obama and the principal deputy director of the Office of Public Engagement at the White House, according to the New York Times. Marshall also served as the director of state campaigns and political engagement for Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign, LiveZ reported, adding that Catanese was unable to substantiate the claims. A brief search of the WikiLeaks database did not yield any more emails on the matter. Mueller did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Daily Wire. The fact that this even has to be investigated tells us that Clinton wasn't running the tight ship of woman empowerment that she led us to believe that she was. The entire Clinton campaign has been riddled with nothing but scandal from the moment it started. They began with Monica's ex-boyfriend's wife, and it's gone downhill from there. Their facade of integrity and ushering in a new era of women first is just that, a facade that has fallen away at the first sign of inspection. The Clinton presidential hopeful 2.0 is just like the original version, seedy, dishonest and abusive to women. Thank God America dodged that bullet.